Okay, we're live. Babe, I'm live, by the way. He can't hear me. It's fine. Can you guys hear me? Let's hope. Alright, so I see we have Raziel in the chat. Hello. Can better. I hope Weebo has something proper to drink. Well, I do, in fact, have something proper to drink. Tonight I am drinking eggnog and spiced rum. And we're going to see how this goes. I see Cynic in the chat as well. And I hope that we're actually live and it's not just being rude to me, because sometimes that happens. Let's see. View on YouTube. I can hear myself. Okay, so that means the audio works. And then I see that the chat is working as well, so that's good. That's very good. It is very good. Okay, so a few channel updates while we're waiting for Polly to show up and the rest of the chat to come and hang out with us. A few channel updates. So I mounted the green screen this afternoon, and that did not go very well. So I got the appropriate length for what it is that I wanted, or so I thought. The way that they measure it is from the top of the screen all the way down to where it fully extends. The problem is the locking mechanism requires a few inches get shaved off at the end. As a result, it was too short when I tested it out. And also the angle was all wrong the way that I had it. So it wouldn't be compatible with this setup that I have right now, or any setup really, unless I wanted to like sit exactly like this and not look at the screen ever. It would not have worked out. So I'm gonna have to reconfigure the way that my setup is, and then go from there. But I have a new screen in the works, incoming. I have a new cable for the other light because one of the ring lights' cables kind of just went bunk. And hopefully that will all get sorted before next weekend, and so I can start game streaming. Originally I did plan to have a video out this weekend, but some IRL shenanigans came up. And of course, we all know that IRL is before URL. So that had to take precedence. I don't know when it'll be out. I just know that it has been pushed back, but that doesn't mean that it won't get published. Still working on a whole bunch of other videos, and I know I feel like I keep saying this, but I have a bunch of things in the works. It's just a matter of completing those things, still being passionate about those things through the entirety of the editing process. Because what I've been finding more and more recently is that I'll be working on a video, and I'll be like pretty far into the production of the video, script-wise, before I just kind of lose all passion for that project. And of course, once that happens, then it's not fair to see it out to the end, really, because of the fact that I'm not being genuine at that point. It feels like a lie, but also I just can't bring myself to be worked up over a thing anymore, which I'm okay with, because then that means that my content becomes more genuine and longer lasting in the future. But at the same time, that means less content, or less frequent content, I guess. Because the current schedule that I have going on right now has impeded me from spending like 3 to 6 hours scripting a video, and then having a quick turnover into a video that I publish then. Like, it's got to be something, I don't know, super, I don't even know what the word would be, because it's not a standard across the board thing that gets me impassioned about a project. It's just thing that I personally feel impassioned about. But that's okay. That's why everything on this channel is a total surprise, and why people still have trouble figuring out what it is that the channel is about. So, thank you, Assassins of the Grey. I see you in the chat. Thank you for shilling the stream. I deeply appreciate that. And for all of the links as well. Deeply appreciate that. What else? Oh yes, I did decorate the house. First opportunity that I got. So Friday, when El Boyfriendo went off to work, I didn't have the day to work, so I just went ham with the Christmas music and whatnot. Next weekend, I'm making Christmas cookies with other mother. We still don't have a Christmas tree, which that story, the reason why that fell through is kind of annoying. Because my mother said that she was going to give me a Christmas tree weeks ago while I was moving in here. And then I go over to her house on Thanksgiving, to make the rounds because that's what you got to do. And I see it decorated, and she goes, "Yeah, you can have the Christmas tree after I'm done with it this year." So, yeah, we don't have a Christmas tree this year. I'm going to have to get a small one from somewhere. I have no idea where. But that's the way that the cookie crumbles. I should probably open up the stream labs so that I'm not behind on anything. Anyway, so guys, if you're joining me in the alcohol indulgence today, this fine evening, Sunday, I am drinking spiced rum, Captain Morgan, and some eggnog. And it's not half bad, I will say. Not half bad. Okay. Yes, you can hear a boyfriendo in the background. Video gaming furiously. He's playing Valhalla right now. Abaddon is also in the chat, and he says, "Hello, Lesbian Jones." For the record, everybody, I am not a lesbian. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but the fact that I do, yeah. I see Paul. I'm gonna get it wrong, but I'm gonna try anyway. Paul Nunziante. Correct me if I horribly mispronounced that. G'day, Weebs. I hope you are going awesomely awesome. I am going awesomely awesome. Thank you. Jonathan Peterson as well. Evolved Potatoes. Chicago Mike. Who else? Who else we got in the chat? Gokado also. Use a pot plant. Buy a nice chili plant or basil, etc. Herb spices. You'll use it in cooking, and that can be the Christmas tree. I mean, I guess I could. But I really want a Christmas tree that I can hang lights on and decorate with the ornaments, because we have those. And I have those in a box, and I have the tree skirt too. I have all of the things. What I don't have is a tree. And so that saddens me greatly. But you know what we're going to do? Let's look at some alternative Christmas trees, since 'tis the season. Oh, you know what I need to get out? The Christmas tree. Or not the Christmas tree, Christmas hat. But it's in storage right now, so I'll have to bring it back next show, I guess. Christmas tree alternatives. Okay. Let's see. So here's an article, and I will share it with everybody, of 30 plus innovative Christmas tree ideas you need to see to believe. Oh boy, it's a whole ass gallery. There's a Garland Christmas tree, which looks stupid. No offense, but it looks actually full of offense. This looks stupid. There's a Succulent Christmas tree. I think I like this one better, but it also looks too small for my purposes, which is to put things underneath of it so that I can have that authentic Christmas morning in my first ever abode. Pom-pom Christmas tree. I actually had something that was similar to this. It wasn't made of pom-poms, but it was made of like little string wrapped, like there were red string wrapped bulbs of styrofoam and tiny little golden bows. I think I might have it in some of the older videos, but I got rid of it because it was messy, and the things after like 6 moves were coming out, the little pom-poms and etc., etc. Decoration deconstructed Christmas. This looks like just a bunch of shelves with ornaments hanging on them. And again, can't really put things under that as much. A wintry Christmas. This is basically the same thing as the other one. Colorful Christmas tree. Is this just a vase with some branches poking out, decorated with ornaments? It seems low effort. And this is the same thing, but with less colors. This shan't do. Honeycomb Christmas tree. Those barely look like Christmas trees. I mean, they have the general shape of a Christmas tree, but they're too bulbous for my liking. So no, I'm gonna nix that one too. Miniature Christmas trees. These are just upside down cones. This is the Forest of Dunce cones, dunce hats. You know, like okay, so back in the day when people used to get in trouble in the old schools where you just had one building for all of the grade levels, they would just cone like a piece of paper and put it on a person's head and call it the dunce cap. And that's what this reminds me of, and that does not bring me Christmas cheer. Plus, I can't put any ornaments on this. I can't put any Christmas lights on this. This defeats the whole purpose. Craft paper Christmas. That's too many paper cuts. And is that hanging from the ceiling? Yeah. Yeah, it does. I wonder what that would look like with the lights that supposedly it has. Ah! No thanks. The No Mess Christmas trees. I want to see what it looks like in the dark. That wasn't helpful. Okay. I tried. Recycled aluminum tree. I mean, this one could actually work. It might work. I could even stick some ornaments on there wherever I saw fit, but this could work if you had something to light it up from the inside. Because those are like my two mains. That it has lights and that it has the ability for me to put ornaments on it. Hi, Polly. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, Polly. You'll be proud of me. I have a drink tonight, and it's rum and eggnog.
Oh, nice. You got the eggnog.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you usually put in your eggnog?
Bourbon.
Bourbon. I don't have any bourbon. I have Canadian whiskey, though.
Oh, yeah?
Do you think that would work?
I do. I absolutely do. Rum's like the... excuse me, the most common one, as far as I know. But I go with bourbon because I did. Yeah. I'm an iconoclast, damn it.
Naturally. Iconoclast. How you feeling there? You sound a little bit Rona-y.
It's not the Rona.
No?
No, I'm one of those people that think that I already got the Rona and I got over it.
Yeah, I probably did too.
Yeah.
Half my family has it now.
Like for real, Dodo?
So my cousin tested positive last week. And she was home with 4 other family members who we were supposed to see for Thanksgiving. So that didn't end up happening. But so because she was the only one that tested positive so far, she's been quarantined within their self-quarantine while they're getting tested and waiting for their results to come back. And so for Thanksgiving, they set the dining room table with 4 spaces and then put her all the way off in the little corner with her own little TV tray. And that was how they Thanksgiving. But yeah, I can show you a picture of her in the corner after the stream if you would like. It's quite funny. Like there's the before and then there's the zoomed in after of where it is that she's sitting. It's quite hilarious.
Wait a minute.
Huh.
What are you on, Etsy?
So I don't have a Christmas tree and we're looking at alternative Christmas tree ideas for the holidays.
I'm all down for this, but as an idea, not this as a suggestion. I mean, oh my God, look at that thing.
You don't like the recycled aluminum tree?
No.
Well, it is too small for my liking, but I feel like if it was more circular and there was a light bulb on the inside, I could make this work. You know, if it looked like an actual tree instead of a really wonky ass pyramid triangle thing.
Yeah, this is. I'm trying to get my. I haven't made a decision. Is this like good-hearted but failed craft work, or
The article title
reclaimed hippie nonsense?
is 30 plus innovative Christmas tree ideas you need to see to believe. Dare to be different this year. And this was published on November 12th, 2020. So this is like chic, hip, new, fancy, fresh. Oh boy. I didn't think what I said was that funny, but I'll take that.
Well, I'm medicated. I just didn't expect that. So
we're on like number 11 of 31. Would you like to continue with me on this journey?
If they're anywhere near as chic, hip, and oh boy as this one, yeah, absolutely.
All right, this one. This screams low effort.
I've got the same problem here. The screen's so small.
Sorry, I tried to make
low
it bigger.
effort.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is worse than New York's Times Square one or whatever the fuck, or Rockefeller Center one. Look how sad this is. This is a shadow of a Christmas tree. This isn't a great.
This is like the general outline if you were to construct a Christmas tree out of, I don't know, like crayons or whatnot.
Yeah, like if people walk in, like, so I walk into your home and I'm like, oh, so when are you putting the rest of it on?
So when are you attaching the rest of the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good start. Now continue.
Andy Warhol's dead. Leave him in the ground with his tree. What the hell? This is terrible.
Leah Griffith relies on metallic hues for her alternative Christmas tree, which is crafted with copper piping and hammer copper bucket at the base. Okay.
Yeah, Cynic says pretentious. Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's very pretentious. See, it's not a Christmas tree. It gives you the impression of a Christmas tree.
Yes. Impression of Christmas. That's what I want to feel this holiday season. The impression of Christmas. All right, what about the ombre tree?
Again, so small. What's happening
here? So here, you want me to just send you the link so you can follow along?
No, I moved you to my bigger screen, Yuri.
Oh, okay. So you know what an ombre is, right?
Yeah, it's the racist term Trump uses for Mexicans.
No, that's hombre with an H. This is ombre with no H. And it's basically just
I
color
see it
fade.
there. An ombre. Yeah, an ombre tree with, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see a lot of this in hair.
I don't know what I'm sorry, what happened?
You see a lot of this kind of stuff in hair styles with the ladies where their hair goes from one color at the top to a different color all the way at the bottom. Okay. Usually it's a blonde ombre. And it takes a bit to get correct. As you can see here, they kind of missed coloring in the middle. You can still see the green. So the color fade goes from stark white to green to like a blue color, I guess, to black at the bottom.
Okay, for the edification of our audience, I'll an ombre tree with coordinating ornaments is the wow factor you need this holiday season.
Yeah. But
that's why they have editing in case your voice actor is medicated.
I get the idea that they were going at for this. They just didn't get there. It's not 100%. Just a little bit more spray paint, and that would have perfected the look.
But like Cynic said, they're going for pretentious, and this has a word with an accent. It's got an E with an accent. So therefore,
Hombre.
yeah, exactly. So therefore, better than your unaccented named tree.
Duh. Yeah. Does your tree have a color gradient to it? I think not. So before we continue on, Connor Johnson, thank you for the donation, who says, there's this new Netflix original movie directed by David Fincher coming this Friday called Mank. I say check it out because it looks exceptional. Well, thank you, Connor, and we'll see. It will go on my queue, in my list of things to watch, of which there are many.
Sounds like a 19th century name for a promiscuous woman in France.
Hombre.
No, Mank.
Oh. Almost. We were almost on
in Tijuana, maybe hombre, but over in
Oh, thanks, Abaddon. Weebo is such a Mank. Appreciate it.
See? Well, but you're not
Don't
in
encourage him.
Paris, so it's fine.
Don't encourage him. No. Nay. Okay, so here's the other one.
Oh, fuck.
A macrame tray.
You've heard my thoughts on macrame.
No, I haven't. Would you like to enlighten me?
Well, okay. Let's see what it says here first. And it's got an accented E, so it's already winning.
Oh, macrame.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. If you, like us, have been swooning over the macrame trend, this quirky shelf tree by Leah Griffith is worth trying. And that's not the first time we've seen Leah's name in this whole shenanigans.
Jesus Christ, they're designer bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, what is macrame, Polly, and why do you hate it so much?
I don't know. It's wine mom art.
It's wine mom art. Yeah. I'm gonna look up macrame because I actually don't know what it is.
It's like yarn and beads to hang pots with, and it goes along with dream catchers really well.
Oh. Ew.
See what I'm saying?
This is like
it's yeah. See, like it's all like wall. See, like pot hangers, wall hangers, yarn and beads, and it just no.
No, I didn't want to go anywhere. I don't want to shop for macrame stuff. Now my Google searches are going to be all out of whack. Oh, yeah, I made one of these in 3rd grade.
Yeah, like in arts and crafts camp sessions. Like I just what?
Have it on the spoiler. Wine mom art. That sounds like Weebo art. No. This tree makes me sad. Yeah, it makes you sad. It makes me sad too.
Oh, hey, Manic. Oh, look who's all here. Of all potatoes here, and Gilcato's here, and Kilverdam's here. Why have I not looked at chat until now? Sorry, guys.
Probably look at chat. Yeah, no, this is barely macrame. This is just macrame at the edges. And I don't like it. Ugh. All right. Let's go to 15. A golden web tree. Okay.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on, okay. Give me a second. I gotta pop out chat. Okay, move over there. And then this over here. And this over there.
Hang on, chat. We gotta wait for Polly to catch up. We just threw him right into the Christmas decor.
I didn't tell you that you couldn't keep going. I was just...
All right, I'll read this while you're busy. A web of golden wires strung across geometric gold levels creates an abstract whimsicality for this gilded tree.
Abstract whimsicality. Okay, let me tell you something.
I feel like abstract and whimsical are either the exact same thing or completely different things.
Just somebody says, Oh yeah, so I got this. So you come over to my place, right? You see this. Oh, I don't know, abomination in the corner where a tree would normally be, and you say, "Polly, yeah, what's up with the thing you got over there?" And I'm like, and I'm like, isn't it just rife with abstract whimsicality?
You get slapped. You know that.
Like, well, no, but just like if you have to use words like that, descriptors like that to try and make sense of the shit you got in your place, man, I don't know. All of this stuff looks like, okay, look, I buy a lot of stuff from Michael's. Okay, I've got a lot.
Don't know what to do with it.
Right, and see, look, I had some wood pieces, I had some yarn, I had 5 or 6 cans of gold spray paint. I made a fucking thing that looked kind of like a tree. Like, that's all I see here.
I wonder if those are actual golden wires. Because if they are, then that just... It reeks of elitism.
Does it?
Yeah. You sure you don't have the Rona? Drink some booze. That'll help.
Oh, stop advertising to me. God. It's Cyber Monday, you know. Right?
No, it's not. It's Sunday.
Yeah, I know, but they're goddamn
They're ahead of the
software.
curve.
Yeah, they're trying to... It's time to update to premium. It's Cyber Monday.
All right.
Okay.
See the next
I'm just trying to turn on my second computer here so I can... Gakados to stop dying. Hey, it's my... Oh my God. It's 3 leftover party hats on a stick.
If you're trying to maintain your minimalist decor, a bushy fur can kill the vibe. This year, opt for sleek geometrics, like this 3-layered cone-shaped black and starry tree. I hate it. And I like how there are stars literally everywhere else except for the tippy top of the tree where there is supposed to be a star traditionally, right?
Yep.
I'm insulted. I'm baffled. Daniel Fullman, the IKEA tree. Yes, Scandinavian modernist tree. I don't like it. I'm a traditionalist, not a modernist. Thank you very much.
Oh, shit.
At least I'm a traditionalist when it comes to my tree decor. Sorry.
Oh my God, look at this stuff that I have from just... Oh, man. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad Manic's here, because... stop talking the fucking 2 seconds after I start. No, I feel like I'm cutting you off, and I'm not, because I start saying something, and then like half a second later you start talking, and I feel like I cut you off, and I totally didn't. Stop it.
No, because I usually wait for you to like have a lull, but I don't wait long enough, I guess. All right, sorry, continue. You do your thing. I've talked long enough. I'm gonna enjoy my booze.
I'm just trying to do some Streamlabs reads. That's all. I'm not trying to have a lulls.
Ah, okay.
So 15 days ago, Manic hit me up with a donation that I didn't see until right now. I'm really glad Manic's here. Thank you, Manic, for the $10. You're so generous. Feel better soon, Polly. Smiley face. I did actually feel better for following that generous donation, Manic, but now I'm feeling worse again, and I've got a medication hangover from yesterday. So I'm not really medicated as much as I am hungover from taking too much medication yesterday. But whatever, same thing.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, And next 6 minutes from last week. Yay, Pilgrim Otter. I hope you have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving. I did, thank you. Be awesome to this amazing otter and sub to his classy gent. Into this classy gent for comic book curation noir bar and some odd screwball screw tape video. Giving thanks to this kick-ass cocktail hour with great hosts. Well, great. Let's see. It fits into today too. And then finally, Evolved Potato, you beautiful, beautiful man. Isn't there any real trees near Weebo that she can just go cut down? Remember, it's only illegal if you get caught.
I live in the city now, so no.
Oh, you haven't thought about going? This year very well might be the year that I go Christmas tree hunting.
Really?
Yes.
Why would this year be different or the year that you do that?
Because I've never actually done it before. Like, I mean, Christmas tree hunting where you go shoot the tree. So here's what you do.
Okay.
You get yourself a shotgun.
Oh.
Okay. And
okay.
you preferably, any old shotgun will work, but it's better if you have one with a full choke, like modified cylinder, improved cylinder, full choke, whatever. Because you need a really tight pattern. You lay down on your side, good distance, and you shoot at the base of the tree.
I feel like this wouldn't work out for you, though.
Why? What do you mean?
Because wouldn't the pellets ricochet?
Off of wood?
Yeah.
No, they go through wood.
Are you sure?
High velocity lead goes through wood, yes.
Have you tested this out?
Personally, no, but I've watched many people do it on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, the arbiter of all things professional, right?
Oh, well, this is...
Isn't YouTube also the platform where someone shot a desert eagle at their boyfriend and killed him through a book? To see if the book would actually stop the motion of the bullet itself before it actually hit him in the chest. I feel like that was YouTube.
I said shoot at a tree, not your significant other.
No, but I mean, like, point still stands, right?
And you follow the fourth rule of firearm safety in addition to following the first three. Check your background. You know, like you look to see what's beyond the tree. This is the idea. You go in the forest, you go in the bush, you go find a tree that's of the nice size, and you're out there tree hunting. And you're like, yep, you're my tree. So you lay down on the side and you go bang, 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 and then the tree falls over. You don't take a. I mean, why bring a saw or an axe or a hatchet when you can bring a shotgun? And you don't even need to bring a shotgun. You can bring a rifle, but a shotgun will be more effective. With a rifle, you'll be shooting more.
All right. Well, let me ask the shotgun owner in the household if he'd be down with this. Babe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know you said you didn't want a live tree, but hear me out.
Okay.
What if we went into the woods, deep into the woods, and we took your shotgun and we shot the tree down instead of chopped it down? Would you be game for that?
I mean, it's still a live tree. I don't know what shooting the tree down has to do with it.
It'd just be more fun that way.
You can give it to your father or something, but I don't want to hear.
All right. A boyfriendo says no, so no.
What is his opposition to live trees?
So you want me to go find a dead tree?
Well, no, I'm saying like he doesn't want a real tree, right? Like, is it because
he doesn't want a real tree?
Why is that?
Why don't you want a real tree again?
It's just too much work.
Too
you
much
have to
work.
keep getting one every time you want to put up a tree.
We have to keep getting one every. I didn't. What?
Like every year, you'd have to keep getting a tree if you wanted a tree.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to.
Okay. and instead you want the sad Scandinavian 3-party hat tree?
When did I ever fucking say that? I said we were looking at alternatives.
We're looking at them right now. Look at those sad 3 leftover Scandinavian party hats.
This is one of 31 trees that we've been looking at.
All right. I mean,
What about this one?
The wall decal tree. Whether you live in a petite space, hate the hassle of a tree, or want a unique or quirky Christmas alternative, or like Boyfriendo, just can't stand the idea of tradition, the tree is for you. The peel and stick wall decal from CVD Vinyl, the makers of Fleshlight. In the economic decoration,
Vinyl, the makers of Fleshlight. Seriously?
As long as you have a wall, you're good to go. Buy wall decal tree today.
You should read for CVD Vinyl. Feel like they should pay you for that.
Oh, thank you, Manic. Manic is so generous. Man, thank you very much for the $20 monies for the highly medicated otter. Oh, thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated. Did you see Manic's I have a word here. Tweet.
No.
Hold on here. Look. Boom. There it is.
Are you sharing?
So
if I'm sharing already, does that override your share or prevent you from sharing?
That's a good question. What happens? I don't have Stream Backyard. So what does the back end of Backyard look like?
I don't see anything.
Well, hold on. I haven't shared it yet.
Oh, sorry. I thought you did.
There it is.
Okay. This is how I picture Polly right after Thanksgiving. Oh, setting up the tree.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that one then. Yes.
He's an otter. He's on top. He's setting up the thing. Look, he's got a little stocking in the background.
Aw, that's so cute.
And it's in this cool kind of like, I think of it as like watercolor style that Manic draws and paints in. I love it. This is great. I saved a copy of, well, I save all the stuff that people send me, the otter stuff that people tweeted me. But I really like this. This was great. And it did really well too, like 8 likes and retweets and shit. It was really cool.
I'm a big fan of fan art as well.
Yeah, man.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, guys. No pressure. But yeah. That's so sweet. It's so cute. All right. 18 is the branched metal tree.
Oh, now see, now that's full hipster Charlie Brown. Tell me it's not.
Yeah. I especially love the geometric shapes just hanging from the branches.
Yeah.
And by love, I mean no. This is some basic bitch tier level nonsense. This white metal tree works for basically all of your seasonal decor, but throw on some ornaments. 'Tis the season. It's a simple space-saving look that is uniquely festive. Is it festive? I don't see anything Christmassy whatsoever about this tree.
You know, you could exactly. Like it's so abstract, so often like oh well, it matches my Jesus Christ, plain white rectangle I've put on the wall and call art.
Plain white rectangle. Hang on. The rectangle matches the couch.
But that's the point. The tree matches the couch, which causes to offset our plain white rectangle. And what is that star thing on the pillow on the couch? You see that, or is that what?
It's just a star decoration on the pillow.
Man, fuck these people.
That's the coat hanger tree. Yeah, basically. That's what this is.
Like you think like that fucking thing could be there all year round and you wouldn't even know it was meant to be festive or whatever.
I don't think it's meant to be festive. It's just meant to be multi-purpose in terms of decoration. So instead of taking down the Christmas tree every year after you're done using it, you leave your Christmas tree up and then just take the decorations off or whatever it is that you use to decorate the Christmas tree, and you can repurpose it with other such decorations, therefore making it a multi-purpose tree.
What are you saying, that you think year round like they hang like little like dry white pumpkins off of this thing during Halloween? And
oh, I absolutely think that's what they do.
Vol Potato, thank you for the very generous donation. Oh man, that's so generous. Thank you. Don't die before the 100th episode of Comic Book Curation. Yeah, right. Have a good Christmas. Well, you as well. I intend to, but we've got weeks and weeks before Christmas, so we're gonna keep it coming, keep it rolling. Weebo will be here, and finally, how about decorating Boyfriendo up like he was a tree? Now there's his punishment. Oh, you don't want to bring in a real tree? Well, then you're gonna stand in the corner and hold these ornaments, and we're gonna put a star on your head.
All right, let me run that one by him too. Hey, babe.
Yes.
What if we decorated you as the tree?
Well, I know where to put the mistletoe.
Oh. Put mistletoe on the tree.
Okay. Credit where credit's due. Good call.
I left the mistletoe on your desk, by the way, so you can hang it up when you get home tomorrow.
Okay.
So go nuts. Please actually hang that.
I mean, it's gonna go by my nuts. You're right.
No. You gotta hang it above our heads.
I'm
not that head.
Above our head. You're right.
No. My head too.
Wow, it will be.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny? They're joking in chat, Manic and Cynic and stuff. They're talking about the ladder that was in
points right now.
In the piece of art that Manic sent, the ladder, and said, I don't think vertigo and ladders go together. And Manic says that it was a non-vertigo day. I was watching this thing on YouTube the other day, and one of the ads that ran was one of those collapsible ladders that actually had handrails up the side. And I thought, that's perfect for me, until I saw like this old man using it. And I was like, oh God, that's not for sufferers of vertigo. That's for like old people with decrepit legs and shit. And I got all excited at the idea of the ladder with handrails. Have you ever been so dizzy that you actually use both hands on the one-sided handrail on stairs in your house? I have.
I've never been okay, so I've never been in such a specific scenario, but I have been dizzy enough to like puke. But that was after getting drunk. So
Okay, I see. Not the same thing, but yeah.
No, but
close enough.
It was not comfortable at all. And I wasn't even moving, and it was just like eyes closed. Oh, everything's spinning, even if my eyes are closed. There's no point of reference for me to know that anything is spinning either.
Yeah. I felt like I was climbing the Matterhorn, man. It was a standard incline for steps, whatever they are inside of a home. But suddenly I felt like it was on like a fucking, 70-degree angle where I'm like, whoa, like the handrail was now a rope, and I was free climbing up the side of a mountain. It was terrible, and the room was spinning at the time. But hey, welcome to the fun of vertigo.
This sounds like a fantastic time.
It's not.
Bet. Thank you, Snubbirth, for the donation. Occurred to me that I haven't donated to you since probably some long-lost Lords of the Night episode, so here's my diversity tribute. Aw, thank you for donating to me, because I am both a woman, trap, short, midget, ginger, autistic, weeb, nerd, and any other... Did I? No, I didn't. And any other fun diversity trait that you can come up with.
Yeah, Gilcato's got a point. Reclaim the products from the old people. That's right. The collapsible ladder with stairs or with rails. That's not for old people. That's for young people with vertigo.
That seems ageist.
And Ensure and all of them old people drinks. Those aren't for old people to get their nutrients. They're for gamers that haven't gotten up from their desk for 12 hours that need nutrients. God damn it. And you can't live on fucking Rockstar and Monster alone. So drink Ensure to make sure that you're getting your vitamins and nutrients.
Hang on. Why are gamers the ones that don't get up from their desk for like 12 hours in this scenario? Why can't it be college students or ex-college students who are studying up on their code shenanigans, or people who are YouTubers who are working on their videos?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I know, right? Ableist Weebo Jones, no one cares about old people, says Snubber 13. I care about old people, but only some old people. Only some. It's fine.
Dan Foreman says same with the adult diapers. Well, being somebody who's engaged in extended research and writing sessions, I'll leave the adult diapers to the gamers and people with fancy NASA-looking chairs like Weebo there to wear diapers so they don't have to go to the bathroom. I'll still get up.
I would never. All right. I could take my laptop to the bathroom like an adult.
That's right. My chair comes with a colostomy bag.
No, my legs come with mobility to the bathroom, but my laptop is portable.
Let me tell you something, Weebo. Let's say, how do you know that you have a problem? When you're playing a game and you need to go use the bathroom and you take your computer with you so you can still keep gaming.
No. I'm not gaming when I go to the bathroom with my laptop. I'm researching for videos. Different.
I guess it is. I guess it is.
I mean, come on. What do you spend all of that time in the bathroom doing, aside from the obvious?
What? What do I spend all what doing?
You could read in the bathroom. We call it the library in my family for a reason. You could watch movies in there.
Call friends, do macrame, all sorts of things.
Yeah, you could macrame. Exactly. Thank you, Polly. But there are plenty of other things that you can do in there.
Okay, let's move off from this tree. It's bringing me down.
Okay.
Man.
What about this one?
Fuck, no, Jesus. Jesus.
This isn't so much as low effort tree building as it is. I didn't want to go out and buy anything, so I just cleaned up and used stuff from inside the house in a right triangle.
So much of this is like just reclaimed hipster eco crap. Merry mirror against a floor mirror. Some moron artist. I was about to use some bad words there that might make you lose your channel. Some guy stacks green books, binders, and drawers and creates a reflection effect for the full tree. This is an alternative Christmas tree that can be fun and functional.
No, it can't. No, it cannot. Functional, it cannot be. You want to know why, Polly?
Because what happens if you need the book in the middle?
Exactly. You have to literally take from the middle of the bookshelf. Because that's essentially what this is. This is a sideways bookshelf at this point, right? You have to take from the middle, and then everything has to come down. And it's such an effort to put that thing back where it came from too. That's not even worth it. You just keep it out for the rest of the time. So if you happen to need anything, which you might, from this ridiculous-looking, nonsensical bright triangle, it's going to be an inconvenience to you. And then your Christmas tree will keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter and lesser and lesser and lesser until it is nothing but a pile of things that you didn't clean up.
Yeah.
Also, who has this much green bullshit around?
Well, clearly they've painted some stuff here. And it's, like I said, it's so reclaimed eco bullshit. And I agree with Alpha Omega. My God, there's 12 more of them. So this is the kind of thing that when you've got it up in your house and you bring over your pretentious art house friends from the Upper East Side, and they say, oh, that's so, what did they call it? Alternative, fun, and functional. Oh, yes, that's a Michael Johansson. The Michael Johansson? The guy that had that exhibit of all that useless crap that everyone pretended to like last weekend. That's the guy.
Yes. Yeah. You ready for
postmodern is right, Snubbers. It's the form of Christmas. It gives you impressions and stylistic feelings in the direction that we want you to. It's a good thing Far's not here. She'd be like fucking turning in her grave, and she's not even dead yet.
No, this is still not short enough to the point where I could actually put the star on top of it. Comfortably, at least. You're so postmodern, says number 13. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mate, black tree.
It's just Matt. Mate.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm uncultured. I pronounce every letter in the word. While this tree is petite and simple, it totally radiates the spirit of the holidays.
It does?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
The Mate black sculpture is draped with ornaments and topped off with a little garland to tie the look together.
And placed beside some sad black candles for your black mass? Is that what? And some carefully chosen throw pillows really bring the selection together.
No. No. This looks like...
And don't put it in your window. People will see it.
I think that's the point, Polly. That the people will see your lackluster tree.
I want my pretentiousness on display for the entire neighborhood.
Yeah, Crazy Man goes, looks like a window. Where is the tree? That's a good question. I think it's this thingy right here. You see it? Right.
It's petite and mate.
That's how the word is pronounced, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it. All right, you ready for the next one?
No.
Too bad. Hey!
It's just a shelf with stuff.
But it's color-coded and coordinated.
Oh, you see what they called it? It's shelf made.
You get no points. You get negative points,
No.
actually. You get negative 50 points for that.
Oh, the Michael Johansson made this one too.
He's a household name now. All right,
Well,
would you like to read this description here, Polly?
Yes. Shelf-made Christmas tree. Using existing shelf space to create your alternative Christmas tree. Gathering green items in a Christmas tree-like formation, like famed Upper East Side artist Michael Johansson did here. It is not only compact, but festive. Pro tip, don't forget the topper.
Yay. This is stupid. And I have a question. What if you don't have the necessary white colored things to match your white background? Like, what if you have off-white walls instead of just this regular old white wall? Do you paint the whole wall just so it can match the white background or contrast? Yeah.
Yes.
Seems like a lot.
You suffer for your art, damn it.
It's just a shelf, says Manic. Yes, it is just a shelf.
Exactly.
That's why.
Do you see the strategically placed red objects in there to look like ornaments? Like, I want to punch this Michael Johansson right in the balls.
It's just a shelf. No. Actually, you'll find that it is 1, 2, 3. Do we count the last shelf?
Yes.
4 shelves. Not just 1. I see Michael Johansson has a very specific style type, and it's called lazy. Step ladder with side rail sold separately, says Alpha-Omega.
Stubber says he looked up Michael Johansson. It says, Polly, he's Sweden. Do what you will with that. Pegboard tree.
For an easy DIY, try this alternative from Geneva van der Ziel of A Pair in a Space. She used screws, plywood, string, and lights to create a glowing Christmas tree you can still gather around. I mean,
Oh, God. If you make your children gather around this to open their presents, you're guaranteeing that some future therapist is going to make money having to listen to you. My parents refused to buy a tree, so we gathered around a piece of pine wood with some holes in it, light shining through. It was so sad.
I mean, I don't hate the way that it looks, but I hate it. Do you know? You know what I mean? Like the idea of it. I hate that. But I like this as like a decoration for elsewhere in the house that serves a different purpose. Like, you understand what I'm getting at here?
Is this Michael Johansson? Is Michael Johansson like Scarlett Johansson's brother, and he's like unsuccessful in life and using his siblings' fame to be able to sell his really, really bad ideas?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. I've seen the picture of 2 of them together at one point, by the way, Scarlett Johansson and her brother, and I feel bad for her brother.
Oh, hang on.
Can you imagine knowing that there's millions of guys out there that are jerking off to your sister? What a terrible feeling.
Not just jerked off to your sister, but like had the diddly with your sister too.
Oh yeah, because she gets around Hollywood. Good point.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a Hunter Johansson, there is a Christian Johansson, and there is an Adrian Johansson.
Johansson. I like Johansson.
Okay, so that's one of the brothers. So she's got 3 brothers.
So, see, 3 times as bad. It's like, God, I feel bad for him.
Yeah. Okay, back to the trees. How about the photo tree?
No. If you know what? There's plenty of ways and plenty of means available on Etsy. Down at Michael's too, taking small photographs and turning them into Christmas tree ornaments if you want. It's a fine idea. You can up on your shelf or whatever for Christmas time. You can buy little Christmas frames for your photographs, taking the photographs and turning them into a tree alone. Emily Henderson is full of shit. Don't do it.
All right, let me read this one. Personalize your alternative Christmas tree with family photos. This works as a tabletop design or a full-size tree. You can still dress it up with ornaments and tinsel if you like, just as Emily Henderson of Styled by Emily Henderson did here. Personalize your alternative Christmas tree with family photos. As Polly has said, you could totally do that with personalized ornaments of family with family photos in them. Like, it's not that hard.
Dana Fullman. Shame. Hang your head.
Why? Did he make a comment that I can't see yet? Literally a family tree. Oh! That's so bad.
Hang your head, sir.
It's funny, but we don't encourage that here. All right, the Scandinavian-inspired plywood Christmas tree.
Make a tree that is uniquely yours. This tree is a sketch on plywood by Tanya of Donsdala Lakewood.
Like house.
Even if your art... What?
Like house.
Sorry, Mate lady. Even if your artistic skills aren't quite there yet, this alternative Christmas tree will be a project you will remember. You remember. Be a project you remember.
Really,
See, I'm so used to doing live reads where if I fuck up, I just say the whole thing over again and try and say it in the same tone so I can edit together later. Weebo, you know what I'm talking about here.
No, I understand 100% completely what you're talking about because I do the full run through of my scripts just once.
Really?
Yeah. Like
so if you fuck up somewhere like 2 minutes into it, you start over again at the very beginning?
No, not the whole thing, but like that phrase, I'll start over.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I do that too because you can't Frankenstein two sentences together. You need to say the words before it. So you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Rorschach tree, says Alpha Omega. No kidding, right? That's what do you see
I'm feeling
here?
like I'm getting psychologically analyzed right here, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
I'm already haunted by the ghost of Christmas future. I don't need it in my tree as well.
Why is it Scandinavian though? Like, what's wrong with the Scandinavians? This is the second time they've been named in this entire Elite Decor website collage of Christmas tree alternatives.
I blame the cold, socialism, and an overabundance of Islamic immigrants.
All right.
And pickled herring.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tissue paper Christmas tree. If space is really tight, but you're not willing to sacrifice a full scale tree, we love this tissue paper project from Kerbly, which has all the size of your favorite evergreen without any of the floor space. It's so sad looking.
It is. I'm waiting for one that's like, okay, it's not something I'd want to do, but it looks very welcoming. Like, it doesn't need to look like a traditional tree. It doesn't need to look Christmassy in any kind of way, but something that's welcoming. All of these are cold and artistic and metallic, and you know what I'm talking about here. Where's the heart?
No, I understand 100%. There's no element of like community and family.
Yeah. Somebody said Christmas Tree by Tim Burton, and it's like, yeah, this is all very off.
I might actually have fun with a Tim Burton Christmas tree. This is not that. This is a pastel nightmare. So that is quite honestly the most mint green tree that I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is. It is very pastel. You're not wrong. And what are these things in the foreground? It's some kind of weird IKEA chair.
A pair of shoes. The rest of the tissue paper and some also pastel colored presents.
Yeah. Look at those sad boxes that are supposed to be presents under there. Ugh.
Like, half the fun of an actual 3-dimensional tree, in my opinion, I don't know about everyone else, is digging under there for the Christmas presents. Because I don't know what it is about Christmas trees and the way that they're shaped, but they are shaped in just exactly the perfect way, with their branches just exactly the perfect height away from the ground to just kind of nest presents underneath in such a way that, like, it makes you feel like you're digging for buried treasure almost. And I get none of that with this.
And like a lot of these seem like they're really into the space saving measures. Are these because they're in small floor space Manhattan apartments where you need to, like, they're all studio apartments, so you have no room, so we have to just put something 2-dimensional on the wall to pretend it's a tree?
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, all right. If you wanted to save space, hang on, this is gonna be logistic nightmare. If you wanted to save space on, like, the tree thing, get one of these bad boys.
Nice.
Tiny little boys. Like this. Do you see that?
I do.
Still just as festive, but it's tiny. This is my baby tree from when I was a kid. But yeah, this is one of the things that's what we're making do with, because we don't have an actual Christmas tree that I can, like, put shit on. I'm gonna get a pair of some lights and I'm gonna wrap them around that bad boy so that we have some background Christmas decorations in here. I'm excited for that. Come this time next week, that tree will be lit up.
Sweet.
I swear that. All right. Are you ready? Because this tree is giving me anxiety, actually. It makes me feel like it's Easter rather than Christmas. And I can't have that. Oh! This is worse. Polly, this is so much worse. Polly, did you die?
No, I was just looking at something. Oh, God. How much more abstract can it get?
It's the shape of a tree. Just a bunch of
makeshift is right. This makeshift Christmas tree from Almost Makes Perfect is unobtrusive and easy to DIY. It may be simple, but it makes a big and super chic statement. Oh, chic. Look at the cat. The cat's like, I can't believe I live with these people.
It's like, how am I supposed to enjoy nestling underneath that tree? That's another thing I love about actual Christmas trees, is that my cat likes to hang out under Christmas trees. Cole adored sleeping underneath the Christmas tree because no one would bother him under there. It was like, I don't know, the closet space almost. I don't like it. GK Travel says, too many dimensions there, Weebo. Yes, I know. My actual Christmas tree that is a safe space saver has too many dimensions for these people. They can get fucked. All right, how about this one? The fabric Christmas tree.
Look at that poor child.
He's been deprived. IKEA's Winter Christmas tree fabric is a fantastic substitute for a tree. Even better if you dress it up. Oh, Happy Day transformed hers into a treat-filled advent calendar. I mean, that's clever, but I hate it.
Again, what is this, like, from a dystopian future where everyone lives in a closet-sized apartment? What is with all the space-saving measures?
It's very important that they have every square inch of space that they can get their grubby little mitts on, Polly. All right? Holidays be damned.
Very well.
Spirit thief. What's with the numbers? Why God the numbers? Won't someone think of the children? The numbers are for the advent calendar aspect.
Yeah.
That's the only redeeming quality about this.
I thought of making a DIY actual advent calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, wood with actual little doors, hinges where each one opens up, and then you put like your own candy in each one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I know wood crafting.
I want one of those wine advent calendars. I feel like
Fill me in.
I could.
I don't know about this.
Okay, so for Christmas, like 2 years ago, or maybe it was last year, Balik got a wine advent calendar from his mom, I guess. And it was basically just a box with little numbered items. It was about like an octagonal box with that much height to it, and it had different little compartments, at least 25, one for every day before Christmas in December. And you would, like, on day one, open up the little compartment that contained number one, and you get a small bottle of wine that you could taste. And it would be a whole bunch of different vintages or brands or types, basically. And it was really nice.
That's a good idea.
We had good fun with that. They also make beer advent calendars that I'm aware of. So if you were looking to try...
potatoes, New York hipsters. Exactly. This just screams New York hipster.
Mm-hmm. Minimalism on crack, says Cynic. Yeah. If you live in an apartment, you want maximum space for pretending there is space.
That's why I'm surprised. I was sitting here thinking, like, if the Gyokado, if they're so concerned with space in this way, I'm surprised that most of them aren't mirrors. There was the one triangle stepladder thing that ended up making it look like it was a full tree by being up against a mirror. But people in small spaces, the designers are always like, we're going to put mirrors. It'll make it more expensive.
It was stupid. We did not stand. All right, what about this one? The collage Christmas tree. This DIY alternative tree from Free People brings together all sorts of plants, drawings, and souvenirs to make a tree that is really an impression of a tree. Not to mention an artsy solution for small spaces. It must be a theme that they want to save space when it is that they're coming up with these alternative tree ideas. But also, impression of a thing is such a sad way of saying I couldn't be bothered, or I cannot, or I don't want to, or I was too lazy, or take your pick. Because that's what that is, right? An impression of a thing is low effort, sub tier, this.
No matter where you go on Amazon, you fucking see Barack Obama's book being shoved in your face. I don't want to read a 750-page self-fucking promoting bullshit. For God fucking sakes, Barack Obama, you're like, are you even 60 years old yet? And you've written fucking 2 autobiographies. Why don't you calm the fuck down? You want to talk about mirrors? I swear this guy must fucking have mirrors everywhere he goes just so he can gaze at his own reflection.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the excerpts from his audiobook? And then I woke up. And after waking up and thus being one of the best people on earth, I went and brushed my teeth so I could be better than you. And it's just so incredibly self-ponderous.
Wait, is he narrating his own book?
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
Is he the one that is reading his own book?
Yeah, absolutely.
Buy a copy, Polydub, so it stops selling it to you. Is that how it works? If you end up buying this thing,
if only
advertising that to you? Is that if that was all it took, then I feel like they would have a lot more success.
The Kindle edition alone is $18.
It's not worth it.
And what do you know what it's called? A Promised Land. Have you read the excerpt where he's talking about the 2016 election?
No.
It gave an outlet for racist Americans who had a problem with a black president to be able to, motherfucker, how many people that voted for you twice voted for Donald Trump? That's how you lost the so-called blue wall through all the flyover states you don't give a fuck about.
Big time oof.
I mean, I know we're not supposed to be getting political right now, but like that you would even say that you are Hillary level desperate to explain what happened in 2016, that you had to turn on the people that voted for you twice by calling them a bunch of bigots. Oh yeah, they had such a problem with you in office being black that they somehow, after 2 different election terms, after 8 years, suddenly realized that they were racist and they shouldn't have voted for you. So therefore voted for this racist guy. And the narrative never even became that he was a racist until after he was elected. Fuck off. Just desperate, pathetic. Do you really feel that bad that you're the legacy that you spent so much time burnishing for yourself wasn't be able to be carried on by Grandma Clinton? It was a repudiation of many of your fucking policies, sir. Donald Trump wouldn't have been elected if it weren't for 8 years of you. And if you have to make yourself feel better with the salve of racism over your ego's wounds, then go ahead. But don't visit it upon the rest of us in the form of your overly ponderous, nearly 800-page autobiography, your second one, I might add.
I have a question.
Okay.
Wasn't the Trump racist narrative starting to get run before he was actually elected in the lead up to the election, though? Because I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, okay, I guess it would be fair to say Donald Trump vis-a-vis immigrants. Yes, I would say that it was. But in my opinion, it only became full-blown where it's like racist, like, you know, all of the things afterwards. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it has to start at 0 before you can work your way up to 100, right? So...
Well, fair enough. Started, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't reached full volume until after he had been elected would probably be the strongest statement you can make. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for the rest of the Christmas trees? We only got like 3 left.
All right.
All right. The cardboard Christmas.
Well, this one is the best thing I've seen so far, an adorable little fawn. And that's not, I don't even think that's meant to be part of it. They just stuck it there for the photography.
Yeah. Madame Citron's cardboard tree in French.
You said that perfect. That's exactly who she is. She is Madame Citron.
Well, you never pronounce the last syllable in a French word. You just kind of let it get lost in your throat. You know, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. That's why it was funny.
And it's cute and classy at the same time. Like the look, she provided templates for cutting so you can make your own. I think the only cute and classy thing about this Christmas tree is the deer.
Yep. Best thing about it is the fawn.
10 out of 10.
Are boy and girl baby deer both called fawns, or is that?
Yes.
They are? Okay.
So the fawn is across the board, boy and girl baby deer, because most often you can't really tell the difference between male and female fawns until they get to the point where they're starting to produce horns or not, in the case of does. And that's the point where you split them off gender-wise.
Fair enough.
So then they go from singular deer to buck or doe.
Oh, yeah. David Doge has a point. Did you mention that Darth Vader died? Did you mention that David Prowse passed away?
I did not. And I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, sir. It's he's the guy who didn't do the voice of Darth Vader, but he was the on-screen Darth Vader. That was the guy in the costume the whole time.
Aww.
Very large man, of the size and height to be able to pull off Darth Vader. It's pretty sad. Rest in peace, man.
So like the half of Darth Vader that was the physical representation of him. He's no
Yep.
more.
Yep. And you can go see the it's possible to look up. I'm pretty sure they're on YouTube, not just on DVD extras of David Prowse doing the voice of Vader before they had ADR'd James Earl Jones's voice over top of it, like when he's strangling the crew member in original Star Wars, or A New Hope, if you will, where he's strangling the crew member. It's if this is a counselor ship, then where's the ambassador? And he throws him against the wall. Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive. And you kind of hear his voice, and it's like, oh wow, that's wildly different than James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
But it sounds like crap, but it also sounds like crap because they weren't recording, knowing that they were going to like ADR his voice. Because he's inside of a fucking mask, like the plastic Darth Vader mask. So you can't, it's extra muffled, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. 30, the Whimsical Tree. You can't even see all of it.
Yeah, they fully lost it. This isn't even an impression of a tree. This is
a triangle with extra steps.
This tree from Homemade Charlotte interprets the idea of a Christmas tree rather loosely.
Yeah,
but we have this modern, whimsical, and customizable DIY creation. I mean, yeah, this has lost it. Like that, this little bit of copy that I just read right there is trying to be nice. They're like rather loosely. In other words, this fucking garbage don't look nothing like no tree, but they gave it to us and we had to say something nice.
We've lost the plot.
Yeah.
All right, one more. Cactus Christmas tree. If evergreen pines are just not your thing, maybe try this southern-inspired cactus tree from Sugar and Cloth. She, smartly, used a fake cactus, but the bravest among you can certainly elect for real. Either way, it brings a whole new twist on the Christmas tree. That doesn't even resemble a tree. It just looks like a decorated cactus. That could be for any holiday. Polly, that could be for Dia de los Muertos.
Bueno. It could. This could be for fucking Cinco de Mayo, for fuck's sake. And do you like the little maraca that coming in from like the left of screen?
It's cultural appropriation. All right, I want to show you. I think the one that I found most like best, I think, was this one, the Succulent Christmas tree. Of all of the different creations, this one. Like, I wouldn't use it as an actual Christmas tree, but decoratively speaking, I think you could pull it off in a house, just not as the tree itself. But it's the most true to form, I think.
Yeah. Like, it's like you said, not as the main tree, but as something like on the sideboard or a table or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I could get behind this.
What makes it succulent?
It's literally created by succulents. That's what these are called, Polly.
Oh, I'm like, I don't want to eat those.
No.
Okay.
Succulents, as in the type of plant that this is a succulent.
Okay, I get you. Are succulents particularly tasty?
I don't think that's why they're called succulents. Here, let's find out. Succulents.
Succulents, New Jersey.
Taste good. Hang on. Stone crops. These flowering succulents, also known as sedums, encompass about 600 species of plants. Their leaves have a mild, peppery, bitter flavor and are a flavorful addition to salads and stir fries. Be sure to eat them in moderation, however, because large quantities can cause stomach upset. Okay, so apparently there are edible succulents, but not all of them. They provide nutritional elements to your diet. Some are said to lower cholesterol and blood pressure and reduce coughing. Sedum amongst the largest group of succulent plants. I think that's what they're called. Those are the edible kinds. So yeah, you can eat them. And I guess they taste like... No. I don't know. this Reddit post doesn't really help. Anyway, yeah, I guess you can totally eat succulents. Yeah. Hello, everybody. All right, I've moved everyone back around. Sorry, I had to switch screens once again because I only have the one light right now. Because otherwise, shit looks like this.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's not as fun. Hi. So, Polly, now that we've looked at alternative Christmas trees, should I still get a regular tree, or should I go for one of these adaptations?
I say, and keep boyfriendo out of this. Borrow his shotgun. Go shoot yourself a tree. And by the time it's in the apartment, he's committed.
You can't escape because it's where he lives.
It's because it's already in the apartment, you see.
You're bad. Shame on you.
What time will you be back tonight, sweetie? It's 9 p.m. That's more than enough time to shoot the tree. Okay.
I have to basically go somewhere else to shoot the tree if I were to, and it would be a ways because you can't just go to any suburb. You have to go to one with plenty of space, non-used space. And
they sell suppressors for shotguns, you know.
Aren't those illegal now?
Suppressors?
Yeah, I thought they were.
No.
Okay, so then what accessory was made illegal? Oh, bump stocks. That's what was made illegal recently.
If you mean very recently, SB tactical braces were.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Google SB tactical brace and you'll see it.
SB tactical brace.
It's a way of getting sort of around SBRing a rifle. For rifles under a certain length, it no longer counts as a rifle. It's a short-barreled rifle or shotgun under the National Firearms Act, which means that it needs to be registered as an SBR, short-barreled rifle or shotgun. But if you put a stock on it that isn't a stock, it's actually an arm brace, it can count as a handgun. So there's plenty of ARs out there that under the law are technically a handgun.
I see.
Yeah. And the BTAFE or the ATF recently what?
Sorry, continue.
Well,
I see where this is going.
Everyone calls them the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, but really they're the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. So they're the BTFE, not the ATF. But regardless, it doesn't matter. That's a pedantic point. They issue strange rulings for the longest time, braces of that sort. It's like it's an arm brace. So therefore you can have it on there. You can have an AR, let's say, with a 10-inch barrel. And that would normally count as an SBR that you would have to register unless you put an arm brace on it instead of a standard stock. Now it's a handgun because that's not a stock there. But as soon as you press that arm brace to your shoulder, if you touch it to your shoulder, you are now using it as a stock. Ergo, you are now committing a federal crime. So you would have seen YouTube videos from several years back where people were holding it up against their cheek, but not actually pressing the brace into their shoulder, for they would be committing a federal crime if they did. And because this is a ridiculous fucking situation at this point, right? And then the ATF issued a notary, a statement, a memo, really explained that no, it is okay to press a arm brace into your shoulder and use it as a stock because its primary purpose is actually as an arm brace, not a stock. So if you're using it secondarily as a purpose for putting it into your shoulder, it's fine. You're not committing a federal crime. So now all of a sudden all the people on YouTube were, oh, okay, it's fine to do this now. When everyone was doing it before, they just didn't want to be caught on video doing it, kind of thing, providing evidence of their felonious activities, if you will. But then very recently, a company called Q that produces a fairly well-known handgun called the Badger, or the Honey Badger, the Q Honey Badger, company named Q, particular model named the Honey Badger, which is a small rifle that comes with a SB tactical brace, I believe, as a standard attachment to it. They received a memo from the ATF saying, we have reconsidered our decision and now consider your brace actually a stock. Ergo, all of your rifles need to see, all of your so-called handguns are now being ruled as rifles, which means they all need to be registered with the ATF as short-barreled rifles and shotguns. So cease production and cease sales. So it's like, oh my God.
That's stupid. Poor guys.
Yeah. So it's an independent government department making these calls based upon what memos they decide to send out and how they came to these decisions and so forth. And Dave Doe says the U.S. is nuts. You can buy an AR for $1,300. Buy online an AR for $1,300. Is that nuts because that's so expensive? Is that nuts because you can buy an AR online? I mean, it still has to go through an FFL to purchase. I don't. What's the nuts part?
Yeah.
That you shouldn't have to pay more than $600 for an AR. Yeah, that is nuts. Which part, I guess, is my question.
Have you ever tried making your own gun?
Not personally, no. I'd like to. Unholy Reaper keeps pushing me to. I've thought a lot about it. I've wanted to do the 80% lower for a while for a handgun, especially, but I've never gotten around to it. Mostly, it's a money thing. It's not a desire or inclination thing. It's a money thing. And since I already have an AR, I was talking to him about doing a 300 blackout build because I have a Remington bolt action at 300 blackout. So I'd really like to have a AR in one as well. And he's like, don't buy a dedicated AR, just buy a upper for your already existing AR and just stick it on your lower. But again, money.
I'd like to build my own too. But yeah, money is a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation over on Streamlabs. He says, all the best with you with all the projects you may be working on. Weebo Jones videos are always worth the wait. IRL before URL and all that. Speaking of Weebo Jones products, check out her merch store. Girl needs her coffee money, y'all. High fives. Yeah, because I just finished the last big barrel of coffee that I had, and now I gotta finish the next one. And then I think I'm gonna try something new coffee wise.
How so?
I don't know, because I've been getting Folgers Colombian medium roast for the better part of my 22 years. But I would like to branch out my taste a little bit and get maybe like a half a pound of something random that I know I'll like. But I don't
F's
know
in
if
chat for
I'll like it more.
Weebo's taste buying Folgers. F's in chat, please.
It's what my father always got. Sorry, he's the one with the job for the better part of my 22 years of existence. Sorry.
Snow Pilot says, have you seen Biden's NFA plan? Oh, God. No, I have not. I heard stray references to it, but it's the kind of thing like I want to enjoy the holiday season. I can't even imagine. One of the interesting things about Joe Biden is that he is a blow at the wind politician, fairly described. It's like this is the guy that will be the author of the 1994 crime bill, which included the so-called assault weapons ban within it, I might add, that did all of the damage for nonviolent drug offenders getting mandatory minimum sentences and the destruction of the black family that's described. And he was all on board with the super predator thing until the political wind started blowing in a different direction. And now this guy is saying, oh, with systemic racism inside of the legal system that you were literally one of the architects of, but now old man Biden can reverse his position on that and a whole number of things. I'm for fracking. I'm not for fracking. We should be stacking the Supreme Court. No, we should not be stacking the court. This guy's all over the place. You know, the one thing that he has actually remained consistent on, fucking gun control. Oh, Jesus Christ. The one thing that the guy actually has some integrity on is the one thing I don't want him to have integrity on, or not the one thing, but just like, Jesus, that's it. Yeah. So it's probably nightmare Snow Pilot. I don't even really want to fucking hear about it right now, even though I know it's going to come to affect me soon enough. Thank you. Next 6 minutes for the generous donation. Thanks, 6. hold on.
You know what's interesting?
Well, I just want to read this message from Sex real quick. No, I just want to read it real quick. Otter never culturally appropriate holidays because they are just awesome. Learn the ways of the otter. Give not the cares to such trivial contestations. Eloquence aside, sub to Polydub for great streams like Comic Book Curation and Noir Bar. Yeah, funny you said eloquence when I just had to stumble and mumble my way through your message. Thanks, Six. You rock.
Okay. All right. So
you see all the F's in chat for you.
Yeah, I get it. My taste in coffee is basic, but
well, no, you don't need to be. See, I should get a hold of Boyfriendo on the side and be like, buy her a bean grinder. A bean grinder.
Well, we had plans to maybe perhaps purchase one of those fancy old like coffee pots that grinds the beans before it drops them into
the
grinder.
Yeah, those are
cool. Does it automatically, but that costs a little bit. It costs a little bit.
Well, you know what? See, people call me like, "Oh, you're a coffee snob." No, I'm not really. I've been around coffee snobs, and I know what they're like. All I'm saying is just buy some reasonable quality beans, grind them yourself, and buy a basic French press, and your coffee is going to be fucking fantastic. Like, and that's not an expensive set of things that I just laid out. Like, there's all kinds of, as long as you're buying a burr grinder, preferably a canonical burr grinder, which sounds all super complex. That fuck it, on Amazon it lists them, and when you're at Walmart and you see them, it lists them. When you're at your local whatever cheap bulk store, it'll say burr grinder. The kind of grinder you don't want, the little cylindrical deals, bud busters that have like, they just the two blades that spin at the top that people just use to knock up their sticky buds. Not one of those, because that results in like dust and boulders, as they say. It turns some of it into dust, and there's big, huge chunks. You just want consistent size grinds, and that's why you want a burr grinder, not a blade grinder. Oh, you can get one for like $20, $25. Seriously. It's not going to last you a lifetime, but it'll totally get the job done. Just buy some reasonable beans. They don't have to be, the beans from the highest mountain in Colombia from the monkeys who shat them out only in a particular season and all of this stuff. No, you don't need any of that shit.
So this thingy?
Oh, yeah, a hand crank one will totally do it for you, man. It doesn't even need to be electric.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So people are like, "Oh, you're a snob." No, just reasonably freshly roasted beans of whatever you like. You like medium, you like dark, whatever. Plenty of roasteries around. The more freshly roasted it is, grind it right before you use it, and run it through a French press. And you can have a French press for cheap, man. And you're fucking winning. You can have a great cup of coffee for cheap. And you don't need to open a giant tin of office coffee that's pre-ground for it. Did you see that? Weebo just sneezed on her cleavage. That was terrible.
I sneezed into here. Like there's a whole shirt right here. You know that, right? Oh my God.
Is the top of your tank top matching your plaid?
No, it's flowery.
Oh, okay. No, I just okay. It is. You're right. I just like because I only saw a flash of it. I'm like, are you matching your tank top that no one see? Wow, you're really coordinated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm that level of coordination. Okay. No.
See, Six gets it. Burr grinder rocks. Yeah, that's all you gotta look for is just burr grinder, fresh beans, French press. And you can go with if you already got a drip machine, go ahead and use that. You don't need to buy a new thing. I'm just saying if you're starting from scratch, a French press is going to be like the cheapest coffee maker thereof. That's the only reason I recommend it. And it'll give you a nice rich cup of coffee. So you can't lose. And fear not, although it's called a French press, it's not actually from France.
Where is it from?
Italy.
That's stupid. Why? I
don't know. It's like French fries. They're not really from France.
Who did this?
Oh, yeah. Gil Cotto says, or a mocha pot. Yeah, absolutely. If you can get your hands on a mocha pot, you want to, that's the quasi espresso. I have one and I adore it. It's great.
Why do the French get to take so much credit for things?
That's a good question.
Life,
Well, lately they're so fucking base, they deserve a little bit of credit considering how much hell they've caught for so long. Have you seen Macron's proposed changes in France following all of their most recent terrorism wave?
No.
Holy fuck, based France. There's a phrase I bet you never thought you'd hear.
Based France. Sounds about right. Can't wait for the rest of the world to get super based.
Like, I mean, Sargon of Akkad, of all people, on his new Lotus Eaters podcast, is talking about it. And the title of that section, just to give you an idea of how far some of these laws go, was titled, "Has France Gone Too Far?" This is on Sargon's podcast that they're actually asking that question. All sorts of stuff about deportations of people, and a lot of it seems aimed at, look, this is France, the French Republic. We have, I forget what their particular charter is for their individual rights, for their particular Republican rights. I forget what the French Charter of Human Freedoms is called or whatever. But this is it. This lists what the rights under the values under our French Republic are. And we want assimilation and integration to these ideas. You will accept these. That's what the laws seem very much aimed at. If you're coming here, you are understanding that you will be. I wouldn't move to Saudi Arabia expecting that I could be walking down the street with a bikini clad babe drinking bourbon outright of a bottle while chomping on bacon strips in the middle of Ramadan because, fuck it, I'm not part of your religion. You have to bend to accept me. It would be like, no, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If I had moved to Saudi Arabia, I would fully be expecting to conform myself to Islamic society. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
That's
the idea behind assimilation, is that you assimilate to the culture that you're traveling to, that you are immigrating to.
Yeah, nobody says that you have to, like, inside your own home. No, that would seem to be, I mean, maybe not a French value, but an American value where it's like, okay, inside my home, these things won't be happening. Well, yeah, it's your fucking home. Of course not. But the idea of going out there and forcing everyone else to conform to your wishes and wills and et cetera, et cetera. Now, a lot of it's like, your children will be attending public school here, and here's the things that will be going on in public school, and we won't be following Sharia law in public school. Thank you. And like, a France of all places to develop a fucking spine over this stuff. Crazy. I don't
know. I feel like it might be overdue for France, because they used to be a world power, I guess you could say. Like, before they got the whole the always surrender meme attached to them. France was pretty bomb ass in Europe as a power in Europe. Like, they haven't always been the pussies that we associate them with. So I feel like a turnaround in personality is overdue. And those cultures that have had, I'm actually surprised that France didn't have that notion beforehand, considering it was a bunch of foreigners, German foreigners, that invaded their homeland and fucked shit up colossally. I mean, the Japanese, well, not the Japanese, but the Chinese, to an extent, to a degree, have that kind of a mentality when it comes to foreign powers, specifically with the Japanese, obviously. But they have an alternative perspective on that. So, well,
the only reason it's like France still has nukes, Dave Doge says, and it's like, yeah, no, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with you there. And Gokata points out they were the international language, the language franca. Absolutely, you're not wrong. For the longest time, France was civilization, the Frankish kingdom, and so forth. Like, don't disagree with any of that. But I think that it has become all too easy, especially if you're a cynical person that spent too much time on the internet and you see what the EU's up to, like establishing Sharia law as part of EU law. And let's just call that what it is. When the Human Rights Commission of the EU establishes that mocking the Prophet Muhammad or making cartoons of Muhammad or derogatory statements toward Muhammad are not protected speech. It's like, and the Buddha and Christ and no one but Muhammad. So what you just told us two things there. One, you've succumbed by establishing at least one thing of Sharia law as part of the EU, and two, terrorism works.
It took a minute to register what we were saying there. Terrorism works. Yes.
Well, yeah.
It does.
Because we can go ahead and there's no mocking Moses after all. No, because there's not a lot of Jewish terrorism throughout the EU. Well, there's no mocking Christ. Oh, no, wait a minute. There totally is. That's fine. Because there's not a lot of Christian terrorism throughout the EU. Same thing goes with, the Buddha or any, the name goes on. You see the point, or the names, the lists of patriarchs or religious symbols or important religious ideas or individuals goes on. There's only one, and it's Muhammad. Why?
Because they will fuck you up if you do.
Why the 6th century caravan robber?
Because, hey, do you remember Charlie Hebdo? Because I do.
Exactly. One way or another. It's like, well, no, it's not because of terrorism. It's because of the sensibilities of a large group of people. Yes, but there are other large groups of people who are represented. The Sikh community throughout the EU, Christian community throughout the EU, which comprises most of it. What's the deal? Why this particular one? Oh, well, because it's a particularly contentious issue. Why is it contentious? Just keep pushing along a Socratic line, and eventually you're going to arrive at, because violence will result. In other words, terrorism, to one degree or another, as uncomfortable as it is to say, in this case, you've conceded to it, and it worked against you.
Mm-hmm. Big time oof. So, that being said, now that you've made that point, Polly, when is your Muhammad comic coming out?
Right?
Yeah.
Just
with Charlie. Yeah, the next 6 minutes. I remember that. I actually used to be a comic writer for my school's newspaper, and I distinctively remember making a comic about that. Like, not a funny haha comic, but like a R.I.P. in Peace comic. A serious one. I think my dad still might have some of them.
Actually, next 6 minutes has that's really germane point. World War I did do a number on France. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were never fully recovered by the time World War II broke out. Also true. Well, France has a long history. It's their modern history that explains
why they roll over so hard.
It's sort of
invaders, or immigrants.
Well, it's you know what? France, in terms of like how they rolled over, it's like, cheese-eating surrender monkeys, in the words of Willie the Groundskeeper. They got caught unawares. Everybody got caught unawares by blitzkrieg military tactics, right? And they were unprepared particularly for blitzkrieg. And so they got conquered. They got invaded very fast, and it was a demonstration of how quickly a very large country like France can suffer bureaucratic, and by bureaucratic I mean military network breakdown. And if it wasn't for Vichy, there would have been no collaboration. It's that there were a bunch of sellout collaborators in Vichy that decided to cooperate with the Nazis that resulted in the situation in France that it did. The problem with France was, it's like, were they all collaborators? No, of course not. But they had enough bastard turncoat sellouts in Vichy to make it happen.
Yeah.
Well,
so I guess the difference here would be, well, obviously, apples to oranges, immigrants to actual invaders, but with ideals so contrary to that of the French people. I guess the difference here is one was particularly like shocking in that it just kind of happened snap of the finger, whereas the other one occurs as if a frog in boiling water. That
I'd say that's fair as a broad generalization. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, this is very basic, very broad generalization, so don't take it too much to heart, grain of salt, and all that jazz. But the idea of it was gradual, and so less resistance resulted as a result, because they didn't really know it was happening until it already had happened, until it was already too late. That was what happened in this case.
Yeah.
And that is actually pretty scary, that gradually changing things until it's too late to undo those things, that you don't notice things happening until it's too late. That's unilateral for a lot of things.
Oh my God, yeah. You're not wrong, but I would say that like that is scary. You don't realize it's happening because it's happening so slowly, or with a flash bang blitzkrieg style, how fragile something that you thought was extremely robust really is. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much. Like conquering is easy, control is not, as the Nazis found out. Unless you find collaborators, then they're lucky they did find the Vichy bastards and a network of fuckers to work on their side. They were lucky in that way. If they attempted to control a completely uncooperative set of locals, it would have been, oh my God, next to impossible. Can you imagine trying to control a completely uncooperative landmass like France? It'd be like trying to control, like, how long did it take to conquer Iraq for the U.S. military? Oh, geez. Weeks. There was no chance, and everybody thinks in that in terms of, oh well, yeah, you invade anything. Yeah, conquest is easy, control is not. That's a classic standard adage of military tactics.
No, especially if you're an invader, the people feel like they're being threatened and forced into something. If they feel like it's their choice, however, it's less of an issue. So it's easier to vote someone unpopular into power rather than that person to seize power.
The slowness of something happen is exactly how we got the imperial presidency in terms of executive overreach. It happened a little bit by presidential. And I am now saying that as a clean break from the former points that I was making. I am not trying to make any kind of comparison between anything that we were talking, because we were talking about World War II there for a little bit. I'm not trying to make a comparison with World War II and what's going on with the presidency, but we're talking about like the slow cooking and how it happens over time. So people just gradually accept. If somebody attempted, like, let's go back, like Bill Clinton, 2 terms in the 1990s. If anybody had attempted the executive orders that Bill Clinton attempted in the early 1900s, he would have been tarred and feathered and run out of town as a tyrant. But in the 90s, it was just accepted as normal because the imperial presidency, as it gets nicknamed, the overreach of executive authority had spread so far by that point that it's like, oh yeah, it's completely normal. This is ruling by edict. Half the things that the president does are actually Congress's responsibility. And Congress is not willing to exercise their constitutional authority to say no.
So, but there had to be some sort of initially a line that was crossed that hadn't been previously, and then a reaction from people.
Yes, and that happened under FDR during World War II. And it was crisis point, crisis time, extraordinary measures during extraordinary circumstances. And there was an outcry, but extraordinary circumstances. So thus it happened.
So it was justified because extraordinary circumstances.
Yes. Nobody went further up until Roosevelt. No one. Oh, but then I shouldn't say that. That's kind of an overstatement. When was the last time that somebody attempted that amount of executive overreach? Oh, easy. The 16th president, Lincoln. Extraordinary circumstances, right? He suspended the writ of habeas corpus. He threw journalists in jail. He did all of these things that were blatantly unconstitutional because wartime president, wartime powers. And arguably, nobody was facing more extreme circumstances as a president than Abraham Lincoln was during the Civil War, because the Union had fallen apart and he was at war with his own countrymen. So but I mean, just when you see the largest amounts of jumps forward in terms of overreach, both they were Lincoln and FDR, extraordinary circumstances. So they were normal. But after the Civil War, it's like, we have to go back to this. FDR just expanded it so far and ran a full 4 terms in office, ran a full 3+ some terms in office. And it just, whew.
And from there,
yeah. It became more and more normal for it to, through executive orders, be basically by edict issuing legislation in everything but name. Yeah. And and because it is complex, a compliant Congress. At the time that subsequent presidents were issuing orders, there was a Congress that was controlled by the same party as the president, thus not particularly willing to fight against it. And thus the Overton window of what Congress was willing to accept was getting wider and wider and moving further and further. Because it's like, well, we're all Democrats here, so we don't really have. We would have issued that as a piece of legislation ourselves if the president is willing to do it by executive order. Why would we argue against it? And then eventually it got to a point where there was a mismatch between who was controlling Congress and the president that was attempting to overreach. And by that time, it had gone so far that, executive authority needs to be rolled back. Look at the way that it happened with Barack Obama and then with Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't at no point issued an executive order that was any stronger than anything that Barack Obama did, except now you have a Democrat-controlled Congress that's saying this president, i.e. Donald Trump, is issuing orders that are tyranny. They're tyrannical. It's like the same level of authority being exercised as Barack Obama. You just happen to agree with what the particular policy was. DACA, delayed action on childhood arrivals, it's a massive executive order, funneling hundreds of millions of dollars to make it happen. Just huge amounts of detail. It's a piece of legislation in everything but no. It's not legislation. It's an executive order. Jesus Christ. If Congress had made it, it would be legislation. And now you have courts ruling against Donald Trump, trying to change it, saying, oh, well, no, there's a stay on that. You don't have the legal authority to stop DACA. Wait, why not? It was functioned by executive order, and he's trying to cancel it. Try and tell me it's not legislation and everything but name.
I would love to see some of those arguments for why that could be implemented but not discontinued by the same writ of power,
You know what? As would I, but that gets, okay, I'm a doctoral student in political science, but I am not a constitutional scholar. That's it's in my field, but way outside anything I specifically study. Jesus.
And that would not be an area that I would be able to even begin to delve into with any sort of.
Can you imagine reading the circuit court judge's injunction findings for that? Can you imagine how they would read why it was dry and confusing and referencing
Nope. No, thank you. Okay, you know what's funny? So I love to read. Absolutely adore reading. I just don't ever have time for it on the level that I used to as a kid. And this definitely ties into what it is that we were just talking about with the court things, because for a good part of the beginning of my life, when people found out that I like to read, their immediate thought was, oh, Weebo, you should be a lawyer. Lawyers read all the time. They love to read. It's not the same thing, though. Just because I like to read doesn't mean I enjoy reading the opinions and rulings of judges or really dense legal documents in legalese. Like, I like to read fantasy, fantastical depictions of shenanigans that happens and people's emotions regarding those things that happened and descriptive words regarding those things that, like, I don't want to read legalese shenanigans. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Far's like, why do they think lawyer when you say I like to read? And Nuke says, hey, Weebs, read this. You like to read. I know, it's like they just, anything of the written word, you must, here, read these assembly instructions for this motor vehicle. You like to read. Like,
that's not how that works. No, thank you. I don't want it. So, okay, we have about 6 minutes.
You get that in a big way where people like, I want to be an intelligence analyst. And it's like, you better like to read. Yeah, because that's the majority of what you're going to be doing is reading raw intelligence reports over and over and over again and attempting to... reading comprehension is a huge part of it and boiling it down into white papers and stuff. So executive summaries, it's a little crazy.
It's not so much like to read as I hope you like to read really dry information dense, dry, factual nonsense that needs like 12 different references in order to make sense. And I guess the same thing could be said for anything to do with college reading too. Like my thesis involved a lot of reading. And I do like to read, and I do like to read studies. But it got to a point where I was just tired. And so that's how I knew that I'd never want to be a professor in the field of psychology.
At least not a clinician, huh?
No, God, no. No. And I don't like to write the things either. I'd much rather, if I were going to do anything with my psychology degree, it would be practicing it with people.
Well, okay, first of all, yeah, you strike me somebody that applied psychology would definitely be up your alley. And that does require a lot of reading, but not of the same clinical variety. But also what Assassins of the Grey wrote there. I didn't read it with sarcasm until the end, and so it really struck me as funny. He's writing, intelligence analysts track Russian submarines in the Atlantic and go after IRA terrorists and Colombian drug runners. Everyone knows that.
At every single TV show involving intelligence analysts.
Yeah, it's one of my friends who did the IA thing for a little while. One of his favorite examples were the crime scene shows, CSI, et cetera, CSI City X, where the people who were crime scene analyst people carried badges, guns, interrogated suspects, kicked down doors, and made arrests. Like, it was just, what the fuck? You would say, like, from IA work to what they have them doing in TV is very analogous to what they have crime scene investigators doing on TV. It's like they're the every cop, and it's like no, that's not what crime scene investigators do at all. It's crazy.
You know who got it a little bit better, but not like 100%, but certainly much better than any of the CSI shows that I watched as a kid. Which, by the way, I absolutely loved before I realized that it was all fake bullshit. But NCIS did it a little bit better, wherein they split up the duties of the forensic scientist and the detective people that were actually going out and arresting people. Because, they had the main team of detectives who were doing all of the like interviewing and the showing up to the crime scene and looking around. But they would also be going to the forensic scientist and talking with Abby in this case. They would go to talk to Abby, who would do all of the forensic-y stuff. Like all of it. And she was the one person that did all the fun forensic-y stuff.
Right.
That's a lot more jobs than that. And the timing is a lot longer than what it is that she was performing all of this in. Like if Abby were on my team as a detective, we would solve crimes like that. Snippety snappity. And then of course they go to see Ducky, who was the morgue, who was the ME, the medical examiner of the bodies. And he would tell them all about the bodies. And then that information with Abby and Ducky would, be consolidated by the detectives who also interviewed the interested parties, and that was how they would solve the case. And that to me was a little bit more realistic than what CSI had you do, which is the forensic scientist would also go out into the field and shoot the bad guys down.
Shoot the bad guys down. Farm expensive. I love the fake bullshit. It's a fun time. Yeah, you know what? I would agree with that in the sense that okay, there's like intelligence work and counterterrorism work and stuff, but CT case officers don't do what Jack Bauer on 24 does. But I love me some 24. Like Jack Bauer it's all bullshit, but holy fuck, is it a thrill ride of fun. Like it's complete garbage and nonsense, but it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're watching a crime scene investigation show and having a good time. Just realize how far into crazy town fiction it is. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like reading a Dashiell Hammett detective novel and thinking, yeah, this is what private investigators do. No,
they don't sit in their office, drink coffee, and reminisce in their internal monologue about the annals of their lives. And
no, they don't. As the dame with the great gams comes in to offer them the case, and like, no.
What the fuck are gams, Polly?
Ham. Their legs is what they're referring to, but a gam, I think, references a ham.
Hands, legs.
Yeah, I think it's the idea. It's a reference to thighs.
A leg, especially in reference to the shapeliness of a woman's leg. The dame with the gams. Holly, let me ask you, don't all dames have gams?
But not great gams.
The dame with the great gams. All right, I need an image of some great gams, guys. Oh, apparently they're also a type of goat? Yes. Hang on. A school of whales. Purposes are done. Some gam dames. A gam of dames. Get it?
I think I figured out what my new egg of spite is going to be for this year.
What? Egg of spite. What is it?
Well, you know my Christmas ornaments, the eggs of spite?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I think I figured out my design for this year.
Okay.
Because I do one every year and I missed one last year, but I'm going to do one again this year. So.
And that is?
Well, I can't tell you.
Why not?
Last year was a Christmassy scene of a little fawn standing next to a pine tree out in a snow-covered area. That was the with it lit up. The inside of the egg lit up. For those of you who don't know, okay, like there's eggshell, like literal chicken egg shell Christmas tree ornaments that are like hollowed out, and there's a little, what would you call it, vignette scene, diorama scene inside of them. And I was looking at some of them online and I thought, fuck, these are so crappy. I could do so much better than that. And thus they Zelthor ended up calling them, it's a egg of spite, meaning it's like, so wait a minute, you made this like highly detailed ornament out of spite because you thought you could do better. And I thought that was a hilarious name, the egg of spite. So that's what I started calling them.
The eggs of spite, kind of like
the eggs of spite,
of wrath, but a little bit more petty.
The first one was a little snowman inside of the egg, and it didn't light up. That was just the first one I made. That one was destroyed. It was broken and ruined, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens when you have a very fragile ornament, I guess.
Big time.
Yeah, I wasn't there when it happened. I was told about after the fact. It's like, oh, by the way, I dropped it. And it's like, oh. Well, okay. And then there was the next one, which is like the little fawn standing next to the tree. Who wants to see a picture?
I do.
All right.
But after this, we gotta go. It's nearly pumpkin hour.
Is it already? Okay.
Well, because we started earlier than we have been. And I'm okay with this. I like this because then it allows me to go to bed at a reasonable time. But yes, after this, Weebo has to go bed.
So it's question time?
Yes. So question time, ladies and gentlemen. And to start, we have Daniel Fullman, who is saying, where do you get the tiny things to put inside the shell? Polly, I think that was to you.
Where do I get the what?
The tiny things to put inside the shell.
Oh, Michael's, generally. Craft stores is what is. Michael's is like a franchise craft store. It's like Hobby Lobby, that kind of thing.
Joann's Fabrics, except Joann has a lot more than just fabrics at Joann's.
Usually cannibalized off of other things. Like I'll find like an ornament that'll just be like the first one, the snowman, was a little just hanging snowman, tiny miniature snowman ornament that you were meant to hang on a tree. And I snipped the top little hangy portion off of it and then cut the egg up and then put the little snowman inside the egg. The little deer was the little fawn was part of again from Michael's, was a little plastic pack of animals for when you're making a Christmas village. You know what I'm talking about? Like there was like a cow and a goat and stuff like that, and a few deer. So I took the baby fawn and just used that one too. And then the tree, actually, I stole from my mother's Christmas village. I showed up at her house with a pair of side cutters and clipped off one of the many trees that was on one of her Christmas village houses that had a bunch of little pine trees around it. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't need all of these. Snip, yeet, and took off. And then told her later, I say, hey, Mom, I took one of your trees. She goes, what do you mean you took one of my trees?
I took one of your trees. Ma, I took your tree. So you just steal these things?
Yes.
Shame on you. So where's my picture at?
It's coming there, actually. Okay, there's that one. And then there's that one. Okay. Boom. Boom over there. And then screen share, screen share, screen share, and share. That's the first one. That's the one that was dropped and broken.
Aww.
Yeah. So I used hot glue gun glue to kind of create the icicles around there, and then covered them in the sparkly stuff, glitter, and covered it in glitter. But that's an actual chicken egg shell or chicken egg around there that I cut the inside out and then glued glitter again on the inside and then on the bottom. So it looked like the night sky for the blue and then the silver for the snow on the bottom, and then some bead findings and then a little piece of ribbon, and then it hangs on the tree. So there, that one. But that one doesn't exist anymore because it was broken. And then I don't actually have a completed picture of the Egg of Spite. I have it just when I was conducting the electronic tests. Or that's when I was just testing the wiring for the light that's on the inside. But yeah, that's the tree that I stole from my mom. And it wasn't that snowy. What I did was just use standard Mod Podge adhesive and rolled the tree along it, and then rolled the tree in glitter, which then made it look like there was extra snow on there. And I put the blue background, and there's a little plastic fawn sitting inside of there. And that one's still in one piece. It is a lot of work to get that perfect of an oval cut into the side of an eggshell like that without breaking it. It's a lot of work to get it like that. That's probably the hardest part. So anyway, I've got my newest one. So I have to start making the egg itself. I have to get some jumbo size eggs and then cut the hole in it. And then I'm going to create a new, what would you call that? Little vignette diorama scene or whatever inside of there. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I'd say a diorama.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do again. And it's always a question of what's going to be the diorama scene. And I thought up a new one. So we're going to go ahead with that.
I can't wait for like in 200 years when archaeologists are excavating your house and they find these eggs of spite and they try to interpret exactly the religious meaning behind, because it's always a religious meaning behind the thing that they're trying to come up with. It's never just simply because.
Right. I love Daniel Foreman. Nothing says Christmas spirit like snip yeet. You want to see ridiculous levels of artistry where like it's not all about spite. It's just about like, oh my God, you are a true artist. Said ostrich eggs, Polly. People use ostrich eggs because the shells are so thick that the outer shell has a certain coloring to it, and the inner shell, as you start to cut through it, has a different color to it. So they make great artistic material to work with. Look at this one. Done by hand.
Not bad. That's an ostrich egg?
Yeah.
Like it's got stuff in it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not hatched yet?
Well, I mean, it's an unfertilized egg, if that's what you're asking.
So what you're saying is someday it could be a rotten egg.
I'm assuming they poked a hole in the bottom and yanked the yolk and white out of it.
Okay. You're assuming that, though.
I am.
There's a possibility that there is somewhere a rotten egg with the Virgin Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus inscribed upon the surface of it.
That reeks like hell. Yes.
Talk about spite eggs, right?
I love how you look at this incredible piece of ornate artistry, and you're like, I bet you it stinks.
No. It's less, I bet you it stinks, and more, how can I ruin this for everybody? Show me your dreams and I crush them. That's just Weebo. Hi, how are you? Okay, so, Polly, it is 10 minutes after. Well, 11 minutes after. And we have only gotten the one question, which is fine. But now we shall be closing this party down. Because the bartender has to go night-night.
Oh, but there's good news before you go.
Oh.
Far has excitedly decided to join us on our full Twilight Saga screening.
Yeah.
Yep. So she's there, and she reminded me of something that I did not know. It's perfectly seasonal because the fourth Twilight movie is, in fact, a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas.
Oh my gosh, what perfect timing.
Yep. So we're gonna watch it and record it and have a good time mocking all of the ridiculousness.
All right. Yeah, when are we gonna do that again? Like what day? Did we come up with a day?
Roselle asks, does Twilight have a riff tracks with it? Yes, it does, and it is some of their best work. If you're a fan of I'm a big fan of riff tracks, and I encounter so few people. Thank God you, Roselle, know riff tracks. Fuck, I think it's great comedy. If you have a chance to listen to them, you should, because they're hilarious as hell. They did all five Twilight films, and they're funny as fuck. When are we going to do it? As soon as we get off the air, we should make some tentative plans and some scheduling things, and drag Far into this. And because she lives in weird Aussie land, and so times are different over there. Not only does she live in 12 hours ahead because she's on the other side of the globe, but she lives in a place where they don't count daylight savings time, so it makes it even worse. Yeah, so we'll figure out a time when we're going to do it, and hopefully we'll be able to 1, 2, 3, and then plus, don't forget Polly's Christmas Cinema all through December, where I'll be watching things. I haven't decided whether it's going to be Monday and Friday, Tuesday and Thursday, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, Christmas movies all through all through the holiday season coming up. Yeah. We're going to be watching all the unconventional ones, and because you and Far are there, the first one we'll watch, I'm willing to concede, we'll do Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Yes, I'm so excited.
That's a GIF, man. I'm GIFing that.
Hang on. Let me make it easier for you. All right, I expect to get that in GIF format. Like, any GIFs that you make, can I please have them as well, please? I save that shit.
The Birdemic Live was one of my first movies. Yeah, I have a copy of Birdemic Live. It was really good. Really good. Have you seen Birdemic?
No.
Oh, classic material. Birdemic, shock and terror.
Nope.
Oh, it's Z filmmaking at its best. Yeah. Anyway, well, we will make us some plans to watch it, and we got to do another one for Hurricane musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twisted.
Twisted.
Yes.
So yeah, go check out my channel. The Noir Bar Christmas streams are starting soon, and despite our multitude of scheduling difficulties, the 100th episode of Comic Book Curation still hasn't happened, but that actually is the next one. We're thinking of doing just a one-off for fun to get back into the swing of things, and then doing the 100th, the very next one after that. So we're going to do like an unscheduled one-off just for fun on like a Saturday night or something like that. And then the very next Wednesday will be our 100th episode, which we still haven't done, for God's sake. It's going to be the all black and white episode. All black and white comics, all the imagery will be in black and white, the thumbnails in black and white. We've got all that finished because black and white comics are a long and strong tradition inside of sequential art that we want to have fun with for our special 100th episode. For you, Jacob Jett, you said we wouldn't even last at all. Here we are at 100 in your face.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, we also got to do the Men of the MCU. Yeah, with any.
Oh yeah, and Men of the MCU. He didn't really say that. I just said, here's the schedule. I'm planning on doing this thing called Comic Book Curation. We're going to do it with, because originally it was just Inquisitor and I, and then we decided like, hey, Jack knows comics and he ran a comic book store and he's funny as hell. Why don't we ask Jack if he wants to do it with us? And it was, that was the origin of it. And then we were talking in Discord, and then Jacob Jett said, yeah, we'll see how long you stick with that. And he nicknamed me Petty Dub for still holding on to that grudge like a year and a half later. It's all in good fun.
All right. So
Angela's here. Hey, Angela.
Yeah. Hi, Angela.
Got here just in time to say goodbye. Well, goodbye.
Later.
All right. We actually will talk to all of you later. So yeah, go check out my channel if you're not already subbed. Links in the description. We'll have a good time. Everything will be wonderful. Yay!
Mm-hmm. And I have literally no hard dates for any of my uploads in the near to soon future. Just know that they're coming. And that's it. So we'll be back here, same time, same place, same otter, same face, and we'll see ya when we see ya. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good night.